you for taking along with us on today's exciting adventures. We can't wait to have you again with us. It's goodbye.
The International University of Management, a Namibian university dedicated to its people's future, a hub of abundant opportunities.
We are IUM for life. We are IUM.
Good evening, I'm Maggie Forciero. In the news tonight, Minister of Mines says diamonds remain an important government resource. Top Terry's Kiddies concert to be held annually. SEEP awards schools for best performing environmental projects, and Business on One followed by tonight's sport news. Leading the bulletin, the Minister of Mines and Energy, Tom Alwindo, has told News on One that the mining sector continues to contribute substantially to the government coffers, adding that diamonds play a very important part in that. He highlighted that diamonds account for around 50% of Namibia's mineral exports.
Alwindo noted that Namibians benefit from diamond mining in the country, as the revenue generated from the resource is directed to, amongst others, building healthcare centers, schools, and funding education.
Some people feel like, since I haven't seen the diamond, I don't know how it helps me. But the fact that that's really where we get our biggest chunk of the revenue from the mining sector, it in itself says then it actually helps all of us, because it's because once the government gets all the money, the government then distributes the money through the budget, and therefore it's very, very important. And we would want to continue to make sure that at least we add more and more value, we get more out of our diamonds. For example, as you might know, over the last 10, 15 years, not only are we mining the diamonds and then selling it in rough, we have also established a polishing and cutting industry, where you've got about 11, 12 companies that are currently buying these diamonds as rough, polish them and cut them, and they are also then at least being exported as semi-manufactured, semi-processed. Through that also we get more value out of that, and therefore that is something we would like to continue, and not only to stop with the polishing and cutting, but go as far to the through the whole value chain, where you can also now start actually manufacturing the jewelry that probably can even give you more money from the resource.
Bank of Namibia Governor Johannes Gavagab, while announcing the repo rate increase from 6.25 to 6.75%, said the country's economy has shown recovery in the first 10 months this year, with its growth projected at 3.2%. He further attributed this growth to the primary sector, specifically in diamond mining, which Gavagab noted is doing well and significantly contributes to Namibia's economic growth.
I think for the first 10 months, what we are seeing in the Namibian economy is that the economy is recovering and we are rebounding. And that's on the back of particularly the contribution of the primary sector. And if you get down in the primary sector, we see quite a lot of good things in diamond mining. Diamonds are shining in Namibia. The growth in that sector, because of the sanctions that they have got on Russia, and because of the new vessel that they have got, the Benguela Gem, diamonds are doing very well and contributing. to our growth significantly. But it's not only diamonds. As we said in the statement, you could see also, if you look at the other sectors, manufacturing is coming through strongly. You could see tourism is coming through very strongly in terms of arrivals. And wholesale and retail is also doing well. So communication continue to do well. So that's what it is in terms of what we are seeing. So the incoming data that we are seeing that's going to help us, I think we're probably going to have, we had 5 years of economic contraction, and from 2015 till 2020. Last year, the wheel started turning, and the growth was 2.7% in 2021. This year, we are currently standing at 3.2% projection, but we are revising upwards, and I wouldn't be surprised if we get to close to a 4% growth for 2022.
Growing up in a big family, there weren't always enough seats at the table, so we started eating on the floor so that we could enjoy our food and cokes together. I kept that tradition in my own family to remind us that the most important part of any meal is being together.
The Top Cherries Kiddies concert should take place every year. These were the comments made by the young participants and the parents who were at the Top Cherries concert and playday that took place at the packed Dog Dubber hockey field in Windhoek.
The concert and a playdate provided a platform for a variety of young people to showcase their talents on stage and participate in various fun activities. Local Namibian artist Top Cherry was the event organizer and had an entertainment lineup that consisted of DJ Sia, Adora, Script, and many more. Young participants who were at the event expressed their joy and interest in seeing the event held annually.
All the time, adults are always having the fun of going to concerts and everything. So I was like, why don't I also just send Top Cherry a video of myself, and I want to be an MC so I can also show that I also can have fun at a concert. I can also be out there, have fun. So I literally came here to have fun so I can have the spotlight and not the parents anymore, because they were always having the spotlight. They were always at the concerts and everything.
I think it should continue because it's the best concert I've ever been at. Okay, to be honest, it's my first concert ever, and I think it's the best. We are all having fun. As you can see, we have jumping castles, swimming pool for the kids, who it's hot most. Let's dive a bit and, show, yeah.
Top Cherry also expressed her gratitude towards the sponsors of the event and the parents who came to support their children.
I just really want to say thank you to the sponsors because, these people just came on board, and this event was never done before. And it's very easy for someone to say, I can't risk it, I can't trust this, I'm really, really grateful for all the sponsors that came through. And not just the sponsor, mainly all the parents who allowed their kids to take part, all the parents who allowed their kids to have interest in this and made the effort to bring them to the venue.
Even though the concert was geared towards a youthful audience, the event was also open to adults. And one thing that stood out was seeing parents go all out to show their support for their participating children. News on One caught up with one of the parents, and he had this to say about the event.
The day is very good, and it's very relevant to bring the little ones and the young ones to this event. Because especially like my boy that I'm holding now, he's normally in custody at home because he's not even yet started with pre-primaries, so he's always at home. So now to bring him here, so to him he's enjoying. I can see him running around.
Top Cherry and Plug A Creative, who assisted with staging the Top Cherry Kiddies concert, stated that they have plans to keep growing the event and see it held in other parts of the country as well.
It's now time for our special City Police segment. This evening's message from Sergeant Helene Gabriel focuses on skipping red traffic lights.
Skipping a red traffic light, whether intentional or accidental, can have catastrophic consequences. As a driver, if you fail to yield to oncoming traffic, this raises the potential of accidents. If you skip a red traffic light, you are risking a fine, that's number one, damage to your vehicle, high insurance costs, and an expensive, lengthy hospital stay and recovery from injury, with the worst possible outcome being a fatality. The drivers skip red traffic lights for so many reasons. One of them could be that the vehicle in front of you takes too long to proceed through the intersection. Another one can be because you misjudge your timing and think you can beat the yellow light. And some drivers are simply just impatient or in a hurry. And some people run red traffic lights simply because they cannot stop. And this is attributed to another separate violation, which is speeding, and also distracted driving, as well as when you drive under the influence of alcohol. While there are no guarantees of avoiding red light accidents, there are a few steps that drivers can follow to ensure that they at least decrease or minimize the number of accidents due to red light skipping. One of those steps is to adhere to the speed limit, and also to not drive under the influence of alcohol, to avoid getting distracted when on the road. Always keep your eyes on the road. Stay away from using your electronic devices because that will obviously distract you. And also just pause and wait when you're at an intersection, even if the light has turned green for you, because not every driver on the road, respects the rules of the road. So always just proceed even if the light is green for you when it is safe to do so. The current penalty for failing to stop at a red light is 2,500 Namibian dollars. It is important for motorists to remember that tragedies and costs resulting from skipping a red light can be prevented if they all just adhere to the basic rules of the road. And the confusion and accidents on our roads can and will be reduced. It is every road user's responsibility to ensure that the roads are safe for everybody else. That includes cyclists, pedestrians, as well as drivers. So please let us all stay safe, drive responsibly, and be vigilant when you're on the road at all times.
I'm just gonna do what I'm gonna do for the weekend.
Yeah, we hit the streets as we catch up with Senior Oats.
I think my music is reaching people in a way. When
The Sustainable Environmental Education Program, SEEP, has hosted an award ceremony in Windhoek, during which 3 schools were collectively awarded with 1,000 euros, which amounts to 18,500 Namibia dollars. The number 1 school was the Development Aid from People to People private school situated in the Omusati region.
The president of the Let's Do It World initiative, Heidi Solba, stated that the SEEP project, which was piloted by Namibia, was only the first step to global environmental reform. Solba said that next year, SEEP will seek to extend the project to local universities and colleges as well.
And saying it really shortly, I think that this project has to continue. And this is also feedback from all the mentors and the partners as well. We have to continue with this project. And we have to find a way how we can support it, because this is the future, and if we are not doing it in collaboration, then my question is, who is doing it? We have to do it. So my really big hope is that we can continue it in Namibia. It will be self-sustainable, working with the partners, and it will be really great proud of it. Furthermore, this pilot project will be something which will escalate it in our plans to other African countries, which Let's Do It World is holding in 43 countries. And our hope is, and we are working for that we can escalate in Tanzania, Tunisia, and Kenya. And we can say that, listen, this is a pilot from Namibia, and they did really well, so we can adapt it also to other countries.
The president of Let's Do It Namibia, Tenzwell Rweinasi, said that the process of mobilizing young minds to understand the sensitivity around environmental conservation is extremely challenging. Rweinasi said it is for this reason that C prioritizes rewarding schools and mentors that participated because it was not an easy task.
Just for you to know that the challenges that we face together, this is, I believe, that has made me grow, not only as a human being, but also as a leader. And I've also learned my innate qualities that I can push myself further and further and further, because despite the challenges that we had, we persevered and we moved together, which is this family value that we have at Let's Do It, is that no obstacle can stand in the way of progress. And I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank each and every one of you. You traveled so far. There were dangers. I mean, I was called at sometimes 2 in the morning, but I had to be there for each and every one of you. And I want to just say thank you once more.
The other two schools that took second and third place for best performances in the C projects were the Onguta Primary School and the Okahau Primary School, both of which are situated in the Omosati region.
Ek sal altyd lief bly vir pa.
Ek vergeet ek het ooit uitgevind die wet beson is met pa. My ma kon hom vergewe.
The bomb exploded in the heights. What? When?
Welcome to this evening's edition of Business on One. I'm your host, Joseph Shifeni. Olayinka Bandele, Chief of Inclusive Industrialization in the United Nations Economic Commission for Africa, or UNECA, has urged member countries of the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement to consider removing tariffs and non-tariff barriers in order to optimize benefits from the agreement. Bandele made these remarks during the official launch of a national strategy which outlines Namibia's participation in the agreement.
During her address, Bandele stated that Namibia has opened up opportunities for its local entrepreneurs in the private sector to increase continental trade, but added that a lot still needs to be done to optimize the benefit of free trade strategies.
To optimize benefits from this trade agreement, there indeed is a need for each country to address issues pertaining to the removal of tariffs and non-tariff barriers, as well as address risks that might emerge due to the country's less competitive industrial base and products. Will concur with me that the AFCFTA is indeed a game changer for the fortunes of our regional economies, including Namibia, for whom the small domestic market and semi-desert nature have historically constrained industrial growth and the development of economic linkages. As you are aware, the creation of an integrated market for trade in goods and services and the free movement of people and capital underlies the AFCFTA, as trade is acclaimed and acknowledged as a driver of economic growth and development. Thus, boosting intra-Africa trade is a development imperative. As at end of December 2021, intra-Africa trade remained low at 14.4%, according to our UNCTAD study, of total African exports, compared with 31.2% in the Asia-Pacific region, for example. UNCTAD estimates that the AFCFTA could boost intra-African trade by about 33% and cut the continent's trade deficit by 51%. You will all concur that by reducing both tariff and non-tariff barriers and facilitating the free movement of factors, the agreement broadens the business horizon for Namibian entrepreneurs beyond the traditional SACU and SADC markets.
She added that this strategy is a great tool for industrial growth and a development of economic linkages.
We strongly believe in the key role of trade anchored on industrial development in raising the standards of living of regional citizens, creating sustainable jobs and accelerating progress towards the SDGs and the aspirations of Agenda 2063 as reflected in our national visions. The United Nations Economic Commission for Africa, through the Sub-Regional Office, working in collaboration with the United Nations system in Namibia, remains ready to support implementation of the strategy we are launching today and are keen to see our region move forward with speed to realise the benefits of the AFCFTA, hence our continued provision of technical support to member states in this endeavour.
Bandele concluded that the United Nations Economic Commission for Africa will remain committed to see African trade move forward with speed.
That is all we have for you. Be sure to follow us on our social media pages for more on business news.
Husna Kukundakwe was the youngest athlete at the 2020 Tokyo Paralympics. The teenager hopes her confidence and her resilience will inspire young people across the continent to follow their dreams.
My name is Husna Kukundakwe. I'm 14 years old. I am a para swimmer and a Paralympian. I first started swimming, just playing around in the pool at the age of 3. But I started professional swimming at the age of 12.
Welcome back. Time now for Sport on One. The hockey games in the country have been declared stable by the president of the Namibia Hockey Union, Regan Gregg. Sport on One caught up with the hockey president for an exclusive interview to give an overview of the year that was.
So COVID slowed down any international competition, any international travel. From a local perspective, we also had to curtail our leagues. Obviously, there is, curfew. There was, it was tough on our sport, but just as it was tough on the whole society. But we've come out of that where I can see the energy. So people have been yearning to get out of the house and to get back onto the hockey pitch. And that is actually, in a funny way, it's done in a backwards way. It's given a lot more vuma into our sport.
Gregg, however, predicted the sport of hockey in the country has a bright future.
Hockey at the moment, it's in one of the most healthy states that I've ever seen. From our exco, the administrative perspective, our leagues are very healthy. We've got good participation. We've got a lot of international opportunities, and that's very useful, especially for youngsters coming through. From the tours and tournaments, extremely healthy. Our development initiatives are also quite strong in Namibia. The one thing that I would like to see more of is we are putting efforts to have regional expansion. I want to see hockey being played right in the north, down south, Keetmanshoop and the likes. We've had lovely developments at the coast where there's an AstroTurf, two AstroTurfs actually, at the coast. So I can see the coastal hockey teams improving and becoming extremely strong. I'm very proud of their initiatives. So I think hockey's got such a bright future. Come and join us when we played recently against South Africa, and we competed in those test series. That hall was a buzz with supporters.
Greg added that plans to upgrade the hockey clubhouse are well on track and that players as well as officials can benefit from these developments.
And then for me also, just this is the home of hockey. Now, as you can see, we've done a lot of renovations. Yes, you've got a home of hockey, but it's just a building and a field. When we actually have all of the kids and the men and women coming to use the facilities, it gives it that heart. So we are trying to get back into a habit of using our clubhouse and using our facility where we've got all the men and the women coming just to socialize off and on the field. This field that I'm standing on is the basis or the base layer of an AstroTurf. We're working very hard at it to make sure that at least we've got a 5-pitch, which is just half the AstroTurf turf. And we with plans to do that as soon as we can, and that will just recreate that whole atmosphere of the home of hockey, kids playing here, socializing, and it's going to be hockey is going to grow from strength to strength if we do that.
Greg concluded that the union is preparing the team for the World Cup slated for 2023.
That is all the sport news we have for you, and that also brought us to the end of tonight's edition of News on One. Don't forget to follow us on our social media pages. From me, Maggie Forciero, and the rest of the team, it's good night.
The International University of Management, a Namibian university dedicated to its people's future, a hub of abundant opportunities.
We are IUM for life. We are IUM.
Thank you for watching this show on One Africa. Because you are part of our One family, your voice is very important to us. Please take a moment to rate this show by scanning the QR code on your screen now, and you can stand a chance to win fantastic prizes every month. T's and C's apply.
Is this the country of endless horizons? Is this a place where you can explore a rich and versatile culture? Is this a place with a variety of different foods to explore? Is this a place where you can peacefully gaze at the stars? Is this a place with deserts, rivers and sunsets? Is this a place where you can rediscover your freedom?